here. Where you going? Oh, I feel left out. Man. I'll at least be over here. We're going to get some company. You spent a lot of time in that house. She says, I like it. I'll scratch this. All right. Brother had a nice little nap. Catching up on sleep. Fuck, there's a long nap. God. Seems like I got up at 8 o'clock this morning, talked for a couple hours, and it's already 5 o'clock now. What the fuck? Fell asleep for 5 fucking hours? Holy shit. Saturday, 17/02, 35 seconds, year 2024, 5th month, 25th day. So, I was out here doing a rooster call this morning, just talking out in the backyard, whatever the fuck. And I started reading from this book just a little bit to give a fucking just throwing shit in the air. And I brought this one out, Zodiac and the Salts of Salvation. And I just read a little something, but it didn't really get the gist of the book because it was more into the moon and wisdom and knowledge, will, separation, mass, creative mind, body, and fate. Fucking phases, moon phases, and going into masks and yeah, I remember now. Yeah, what the fuck is this? Oh, wow, look. Florence Henry. This is fucking grandmother fucking Henry's in this fucking book. This was her fucking funeral. Wow. Got a fucking picture of her. Holy fucking shit. Whoa. This is fucking cool. This is at the Eagle Point fucking cemetery. Look at it. This is kind of cool getting this shit on video. And there's a fucking poem on the back. See, I didn't get to see Grandma. She was called Nana. I didn't. So anyway, it's on this page. I'm gonna put this in the. Put this in here at this page, and so she was on this page. It was page 158. So I'll read. There's probably some significance to that. Wow, look what this got to bring. Florence May Henry. Is Maye. This is fucking Nana. Wow, she lived to be 93 in the body. Her dad was Frank Waltrip, and her mother was Katie May Cook. Frank was from OK State, Oklahoma, and then Katie May was from Arizona, AR State. This was 5/14, 2017. So the funeral was 5/14, May 14th, 2017. Fuck 0445. That wasn't 0445. Place of death, Sutterville, Roseville Medical Center. So I was just writing notes on here from talking to some of the family that was there. Florence May, it's MAE. 3517 Hazeltine Lane, Roseville, California, Placerville County. Funeral establishment, Chapel of the Valley. cardiac arrest. That must have been the heart finally gave out. Acute critical limb text-me of left leg. So they were finding all the things that were going on with the body as the final nails in the coffin. Diabetes mellitus type 2, hypertension, Alzheimer's disease, chronic kidney disease stage 3. I mean, these are all things, just names for body parts that get old. Get old and used from, just use and normal shit food eating or whatever the fuck. Pronouncing doctor was Barbara Ann Spinelli. The pronouncing her death. The embalmer was Earl Ahearns. The local register is known as the Funeral Establishment, Chapel of the Valley. Robert Ice Oldham signed the death certificate. I think I got a copy of the death certificate in the house. Second, in loving memory, 2 Timothy 4:6-8. The time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. Of course, that's the typical faith, biblical faith for a Christian. Here it says, today Florence is walking with her shepherd, Psalms 23. There is nothing else she wants. She's lying down in green pastures with her Lord. She is walking with him next to quiet waters, and he is restoring her soul. He is guiding her in paths of righteousness for his name's sake, even though Florence walks through the valley of death. The Chapel of the Valley, it's called. The Valley of the Shadow of Death. Although Florence walked through the valley of death, she was not afraid because Christ was with her. In her passing, she was comforted throughout the night by him. Today, Florence is eating at a banquet table with her Lord, friends, and family. Her head is anointed with oil. Everything that Florence has ever wanted is overflowing in abundance. She is eternally followed by the love and goodness of Christ. Florence is dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. These are things that every, Christian type death funeral personalizes everything so that the families feel good. They're feel good words, and it's always nice to feel good. And who knows, there could be some truth to all this. Who knows what kind of truth is with anything, because I would just keeping in mind everything's a big fucking mystery. There's all kinds of shit hidden at military, political levels, and extraterrestrial, whatever the fuck, piddly slaves at the bottom don't get to know certain things, fucking governmental experiments on it. So 2 Corinthians 5:8, we are confident, I say, and we prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. Yeah. These are all man-dominant centered, death-dominant centered sentences for living life. Everything's all about, it's always better to die and be with the Lord. Man rule stuff, the body. And he said music. So this was, and she was buried June 5th. All right. Now this is all quite coincidental. I mean, I'm thinking this is all planned. Okay, June 5th is the bankruptcy, or the HJR 192, where Congress passed House Joint Resolution to replace, birth certificates with money with birth certificates. Children are now the gold. Everything's supposed to be Treasury prepaid because of the, creditors to the bankruptcy. Bankruptcy number 3 were all titles to all the people were given to the Bank of England, the BOE. So, music was by Mark Merrick, and that's cousin Jennifer's husband. They're living down Caneyville, Oregon. Obituary reading was Michael Garola. I didn't even realize Michael Garola was there. That's the Marine Mother told me about. He's high level. Fucking Marine. She told me some shit. I didn't even realize he was there. I didn't know what he looked like or anything. Fuck. Wow. I wish I would have known. Got to seen what he looked like. Supposedly he got a good part of the inheritance that was supposed to be passed around to the rest of the family. Being high level military. And it was like 10 million fucking bucks. We didn't get shit. So there was some fucking tricky shit going on with the fucking money that was fucking supposedly stolen, or what, for whatever fuck reason. Although Cindy got, the cousin Jennifer and cousin Cindy got all kinds of fucking shit from it. But our side of the family didn't get shit. And mostly because Mother was the rebel in the family. She was the rebel. and she would always say all kinds of shit. And even when Nana told her, Nana was offering her $12,000 a month to start off. And Mother refused it. She said, I don't want any part of your fucking blood money. And I'm thinking, you know, Mother's also MK Ultra mind control, Monarch Butterfly. I mean, this is all part of the program. So someone high up decided in the inheritance realms and in the military political realms that our side of the family wasn't supposed to get shit. It was already decided a long time ago. And we were the uneducated side of the family. They all went to fucking college and shit. And so we're considered the fucking no-gooders, fucking peasant fuckers. You don't get shit. But the eulogy, Cindy Pacquirat, poetry reading, Jennifer Merrick. The prayer with Dean Brumadal. I remember Uncle Dean. I remember watching him pray, and he was I never even seen him even mention Jesus once, and all of a sudden he's sitting there up on the podium. He's all crying out for Jesus, and Jesus is watching him. I'm thinking, what the fuck, is he acting? It seemed like a big fucking act to me, but who knows? But his wife, who is the sister or the daughter to Nana here, Florence Henry, she was a big time Christian activist. Fucking had a little fucking following going, a little meeting shit and all that. And she was quite incidental in Mother becoming a Christian. And fucking anyway, so. But our citizenship is within heaven, Philippians, da 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 da. And then on the back, here's a little thing on the back. It says, "To Florence Henry with love by Freeman Henry." Okay, this is Grandpa Henry, and he died before she did. And he liked to write poetry. And I got one of his fucking poetry books too. And Mother said there's all kinds of secrets in Grandpa's poetry. All kinds of clues and secrets going on with society and family and all kinds of shit. And anyway, here's one of the poems. It says, "Ode to a Chocolate Freak" is the name of the video of the poem. Chocolate freaks come short and tall, and fat and skinny, but most of all, they characterize a unique trait, a dark brown yin that knows no sate. But taste alone is not the par. This is the first time I'm reading this shit. But taste alone is, I might have read it when I first got it and I just given no attention, who knows, whatever the fuck, but taste alone is not the par that weaves the you really are. The you the rest might emulate, the you that we all think is great. I'd have to really start thinking about what's being said here. We hope your future, come what may. And I wrote the word tax above the word may. Will prosper with each passing day. May your cookie jar be irreplete with a salivating chocolate sweet. Anyway, so that's the husband writing about his wife. A poem. Supposedly, this could just be a poem that he wrote, and one of the family members just wrote up here to Florence from Henry. Who really knows? I have to go grab the poem book out and look at it and see if it's fucking in there. This poem is in there. In fact, I got the fucking poem book. Mother calls it the blue book. You know, that's the car value book. So I put it in the glove box to the car. The blue book. What's the value of a car? Because this gets into titles, birth certificate titles, house titles. The blue book. Blue books are commemorative to titles, storybooks, stories, titles. So I put it in the glove box as part of the registration to the car. It's sitting in the Subaru here, in the glove box. I'm gonna see if this poem's in there. I think there's another copy on the shelf inside the house, but I don't feel like looking for it. I know exactly where this one's at. So today's like an attic day. I can tell it's starting to be an attic day. You know, you go up into the attic, you start looking at old pictures and find old family memorabilia and shit, and start, you know, the motivation is there just to dig into it and experience the moment. Experience the moment and soak in the memories. Now remember, Nana drove a cop car too. You know, what would be considered, you know, the generational cop car for that day. She drove a cop car. Fuck. Fucking drop this fucking. What the fuck? Fuck. Drop the fucking key things. The little fucking batteries fell out of it. And they're I think they're fucking dead batteries anyway. It really doesn't matter if I. But here I am. I'm thinking, okay, so the keys just dropped. I'm looking at the way the computer program and everything that I'm talking about. The keys dropped. This is the fucking electronic door opener for the car. One of the batteries is missing now. These are all like fucking communication signs. You know, giving clues. We're figuring shit out. I'm sitting here looking for a battery, one of these little 16 small little batteries for these car fucking things, and you know, oh, here it is over here. So it was recovered. Okay, so this is part of the thing. It got lost, missing for a little bit. Now it got recovered. So this is all going into the memory. Oh, what the fuck? It looked like a little piece of it just broke off the plastic. Oh no, that's where that was there. It's part of it to grab and open it. Alright, so I got the fucking camera down. It's not even. Yeah, so these are all going into the subconscious now. All this shit synchronizing. Because I got the blue book here. I got these fucking books here. I'm reading this Grandma Florence May Henry. It just popped up out of nowhere for some reason. I put this in the middle of this fucking book called The Vision that I pulled out this morning. Just read a little bit in it. It's on page 158. Okay, here's the grandpa's fucking poem book. And a memory that's attached to this is I had another one of these. I had another one of these books, and there used to be a junior high school yearbook that mother brought over. Mother brought over one day with a box of stuff, and it had some old stuff from being a young teenager living at home. And mother brought it over, and in that box was a yearbook with other stuff like a model kit that I never finished, pictures, and other shit, just stuff that I had when I was young that she kept. She brought it over and gave it to me, and she also had she gave me a copy of this poem book here, had another one. But then all of a sudden one day I came home and I was looking for that yearbook because I wanted to look at it, and I was looking for this book, and they're fucking missing from the house. Just out of the fucking blue one day. And I had given Dad a key to the house because I went on a trip to Washington State. And I gave him a key to the house so he could feed the cat. And I never got the key back from him. And I found that key years later in Mother's fucking purse. As I'm sitting there talking to her in her room, and she asked me to get her in her purse and get her something. And I found the house key in her fucking purse. And that told me that Dad had given that key to Mother to give back to me, and she never gave it back to me. And she snuck into the fucking house and took that fucking yearbook and a copy of this that she had given me. And it's missing. I don't know where the fuck they are. And I brought the story up to her, and she never said anything. And like I said, it could all be fucking MK Ultra mind control. She probably didn't even know. And people get old, they forget Alzheimer's or whatever the fuck. They do fucking crazy shit. But anyway, so that's all part of the memory in connection with this book. And inside that yearbook, very significant to that yearbook is that I held the fucking junior high school record for the long jump, and I was only 5'7", but I had these special tennis shoes called Puma tennis shoes. They're really good for jumping. But I liked jumping, even in another school I went to. I really enjoyed the long jump for some reason, and I jumped 7'9" from a standstill. It's called the standing long jump. I jumped farther than the fucking tallest fucking basketball player in the fucking in the school, junior high, 7th grade at that time, and he was probably about fucking 6 foot something, 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'3". Who the fuck knows? He was a tall fucker, and I had the school record. That was significant with that book. Plus it had, pictures of all the different schoolmates that were in there. And fucking, why the fuck did she fucking, why the fuck is that? And I'm looking all over the fucking internet to get a copy of that fucking book on eBay, but I haven't found one yet. So eventually I'll probably get another copy and find it. Because it's kind of nice to have, the yearbook from, schoolmates and have pictures of them, and then start putting pieces of the puzzle together. Who's who, what all the signs of who's as growing up, who is who, and who influenced what, and how they play a part in the role, putting the pieces together. Anyway, so this is it. This is called the poem, The Blue Book, Grandfather Henry's Recollections, Inspirations, and Lamentations by Freeman Henry, 1983. This is all written in calligraphy. This page right here. And I remember I was given a calligraphy set one Christmas. Okay, so I don't see no table of contents in here. Ah, look. Oh, this is a surety bond. Yeah. This is Russell's private surety bond. It was sent to the Department of Transportation. Received. See, they put on here received. This is a lawful insurance order to access the treasury account if there's any injury or an accident to anybody. Instead of getting insurance, reinsurance and paying fake money and all that shit, everything's supposed to be treasury prepaid. So I figured out how to write up a real lawful insurance bond. So I wrote it up and I sent it to the fucking Department of Transportation, and then they received it. So there it is, right there. If they received it, it means they accepted it. Doesn't matter. They stamped it. Doesn't matter what the fuck they say. I think they wrote a letter or something to the effect. They said, we don't believe in that shit, and da. Well, they always deny shit. Always. And here's the order of the fucking registered mail number. Everything, treasury package sent to the treasury. Here's the copy of the fucking birth certificate to the hospital. Kaiser Foundation Hospital, there it is, the name of the hospital, which Mother said is a Russian hospital. But that hospital got torn down. And then here's the doctor that signed in place as the stepfather now. So the stepfather supposedly is let's see here, it's kind of hard to read. Angela. It's some girl. Angela Young is considered the stepfather. The state nanny. So that's the doctor that signed the birth certificate is always considered the artificial the new father to the child. So in this case it's a girl. The father is a girl, Angela. Angela could be a man's name. It's hard to tell. Sometimes they are. Angela Young, MD. And this is the UCC 1 right here. So this is the entry of the debtor in the commercial registry, and the following property is herethrough registered in the same. All debtors' assets, land, personal property, and all debtors' rights, title, and interests in said assets, land, and personal property are now owned and hereafter acquired, now existing and hereafter originating, and wherever located, fully described in security agreement SAREE 0001 in connection to commercial lien SALNREE 0001. Now the debtor is the all capitalized name. And then the commercial lien is the real living man or woman that writes up the security, the security interest, the affidavit, the rebuttal, and sets the record straight. So all this shit, this is all connected, And here's a UCC 3 amendment, and da. So like I said, this Mother called this the Blue Book, and the Blue Book is has to do with car value, which is just a body, a title to a body. It includes titles, registrations, and insurance and all that shit. So I put all that in this package, and it goes in the glove box right here. As a reminder, and if need be, I would show this if it came right down to it, I'd show all this shit to the fucking officer. And they would go in evidence and all that shit. Anyway, so I'm still looking for that poem. It's, what'd it say? Sweet chocolate cakes? Let's see here. Ode to a chocolate freak. Yeah, I'm looking to see, ode to a chocolate freak. Well, everybody likes chocolate. Everybody's a chocolate freak, right? Well, not, some people don't eat as much chocolate. Some eat more than others, so. Let me set this fucking camera down where I'm not even focusing in on what the fuck's going on with the camera. Alright, so Ode to a Chocolate Freak. I'm looking to see if that poem is in here. This is Grandfather Henry's poem book with many of the poems that he wrote. I'm looking to see if that poem is in here. This poem that's on the back of Florence May Henry's funeral pamphlet. That's his wife. That would be Nana. His wife or wife to Freeman, not necessarily it's his wife. Smirched with red. The Apostolic Angel of Caro. These are names of poems. Whatever your reason, keeping reaching, Kate hoping, Kate hoping, Katie, that was Nana's mother's name, Katie. Family Doctor is the name of one of the poems. The Living Legend, the Bill and Cardi of Legacy of the Bill and Cardi Legacy. I keep seeing this word Cardi. That was one of the things. She had cardiac arrest was the last on the doctor's report on her last breath. Cardiac arrest. The Cardi. Falling Leaves. Las Vegas. Unbridled Fury. I Will Ever Be. And Nana had breast cancer too and had one of her tits chopped off. And so she wore a fake tit. Our Forearms Dreams. That Guy. Hey, hey. Oh, How I Want to Believe. Recompense. It's a short little one. I'll read that one. It says, within the door, work is where you find it. The truth would tell. To be without is bad enough. And there's no payday either. But I have found it just as tough to take my check and feel that neither the money nor the company behind it had been served well. I'd have to think on all that shit. That's not a rhyming poem. That's more like just a note, an observation. BN, this one starts off Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the place you ought to be, but only if you have the proper rearing, which has taught you to begin by using words that are the end. Consequently, you will be most endearing. For example, when you're late, be sure that you update your understanding of the starting time, and when you're under stress, assert divisiveness to cool it till you're feeling more sublime. You'll also find it wise to always finalize your patter with a word of good intent, so later you can dream of being in midstream, drifting with the whole establishment. So there are some rhymes here, but I'd have to catch the timing of it to get the drum beat going with it, the dance. I'd have to rehearse it over and over and over to get it down. You'll love the subtle way the charisma rules the day, and everybody acts their part so well. But the champ for years to come, in dispelling stated humdrum, is O array, O always gave him L. Yeah. Anyway, I'd have to really get into it to get something out of it. Here's a little something that's just a writing. This is some paragraph shit called Legacy of Sports. It's a whole fucking page of shit. All right, I don't see the poem in here. Anything with sweet cakes, which is on Nana's funeral pamphlet thing here. Ode to Florence Henry Love by Freeman Henry. Ode to a Chocolate Freak, and it's a little poem written in with rhyme. Like I said, who the fuck knows if he really wrote that? Because there's some fucking weird shit going on in the family, especially $10 million missing for the inheritance money. $10 million that our side of the family never saw. Plenty of people on their side of the family got all kinds of shit. We didn't get shit. but you know, and it was all because mother was considered the rebel child of the family. And she pretty much told Nana, she said, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. She called it blood money. And it wasn't really her Nana's money, although she's the husband. It was the investment that Freeman Henry, the husband, he was an investor. He was trading stock markets. It was good stock market when he was growing up. And he invested in bonds up the ass. And they had $10 million worth of fucking bonds in the fucking deposit box. They fucking swindled the shit. But mother ended up getting a check for $100,000. She instead of getting 50%, she was cut down to fucking, I think 25%. No, not even 25. It wasn't much. I mean, $100,000 of $10 million. That's not even near 50%. But the story. That's what the story goes. The story is, you know, I guess mother refused for part of the fucking inheritance, and who the fuck knows what's really going on with it. But something's not very sensible, because even, you know, they were Christians and Bible believing and stuff like that, shit like that. And then, you know, and being Bible believers and stuff, well, Nana was. She was the survivor. But it says in the Bible, it says, wise grandmas and grandpas, or whatever the fuck, it says, the inheritance is supposed to go to the children's children, not to the children, to the children's children. So, biblically and churchly speaking, because the churches are all involved with getting their part of the fucking $10 million too. They pass it around. Everybody's inheritance that are rich and shit, and they're all fucking always gathering around to see what they can swindle. They're not even following their own fucking rules, you know, and all that shit. But you know, I just bring up the shit because this is the evidence. You know, it's just like any legal codes out in town. I mean, fuck, you know. Well, if they're gonna write up legal codes and come up with societal rules, why don't they even follow their own fucking rules? But they don't. They do whatever the fuck they want. So, but you know, they're allowed to. But still, it's all to be audited. Just bring the evidence for consideration. But that's biblically speaking, and in church, you know, those belonging to the church, biblically speaking, the inheritances are supposed to go to the children's children. Not to the children. Not to the children, to the children's children. But nobody does that. Nobody follows that rule. They always pass it down to the children. Always. They do. It's just the way it is. So, anyway, supposedly mother told him basically, you know, she didn't want any part of she called it blood money. Well, it is blood money, because especially when mother started figuring out what's going on with the system, with the hospitals, with the doctors, you know, they're fucking stealing everybody's. The doctors are stealing everybody's credit. All the babies are creditors to the bankruptcy. Everything's supposed to be treasury prepaid. Blood money means they're going around killing everybody to keep it a hush-hush secret. They'll fucking kill anybody that dares expose. I mean, when it first started, the bankruptcy and all that, back in the 1920, early 1930s, I mean, people that knew what was going on with all the changes and shit, I'm sure they were silenced if they dared speak up. Break their arms, break their legs, beat up their family members to shut them up, and to the point kill them off. They knew what was going on with the congressional movements and the bankruptcy and the whole universal movement. Blood money. That's why Mother called it blood money. Stolen money. But I looked at it kind of different. I was kind of like, I remember telling Mother, I was like, well, all that money is to be shared. All that money is to be shared equally. It's just dipping into the treasury. Is what I'm thinking. But Mother being more of the rebel shit, it was more of her relationship between her mother. Her and her mother had a certain relationship. It wasn't a happy relationship. And Mother would always tell me, she'd always tell me what to do with my kids. Always tell me what to do with my kids. I wasn't the good mother. I'm being a bad mother. So, not a good relationship between the mother and the daughter. Well, the inheritance ain't gonna see no fucking inheritance, right? It's like, fuck you. That's the way things go. So. But I'm onto the treasury. I'm still onto the Treasury access, though. I'm still all over it. I'm expecting it to come. Even legally, just being successful in the financial markets. I mean, as a temporary satisfaction until truly, the everything is shared equally. The ultimate. Changes in society, changes in the universe, changes just period. Just natural growth, growing up and being mature with everything, and instead of fucking. It's all mine. How dare you think any of it's yours? And if I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. You think you need this and you need that out of the universe without my permission. Basically what it comes down to, childishness shit. And you better do what I tell you, live the way I want you to live, and justify it with voting and all the people are for it. So we need to. If the people voted for it, it's this way, and they're not even admitting that they brainwashed all the people to vote for shit. It's not even admitting. They're not looking at all the evidence, how things look so great in society, but a real analysis of what's going on, it's all a big it's all a load of shit. But there's a good side to it. See, that's the quandary with it all. But anyway, so that's that. So now I'm gonna go put this. Well, I'll put it back later. I'm gonna read from this book again. So I wanted to. Now that I got a little reminder of it, it's like, oh yeah, there was the moon phases. There were 4 different phases. There's the Great Wheel, the double cone vortex, time, subjectivity, space, objectivity. Body objects have shapes and gravity, magnitude. Thoughts and emotions have duration and quality. Habitual, reoccurring, repetitive, no collection, security agreement, commercial lien, train, horns, signs, electricity, time and space, orbit, cycling, moving, acting, morphing, body, space, fixed, thought, spirit, In pure space, pure subjectivity, and pure objectivity, the plane at the bottom of the cone and the point at its apex are abstractions or figments of mind. My instructions used this single cone or vortex once or twice, but soon changed it for a double cone or vortex, preferring to consider subjectivity and objectivity as intersecting states struggling one against the other. If the musical compositions seek to suggest the howling of dogs or of the sea waves, it is not altogether in time. It suggests bulk and weight in what I call the cone of the four faculties, which are what man has made in a past or present life. So this gets into fucking past and present life shit. How stuff affects what's going on today. I shall speak later of what makes man. The subjective cone is called that of the antithetical tincture because it is activated and defended by continual conflict with its opposite. The objective cone is called the primary tincture because whereas subjectivity in Empedocle's discord, as I think, tends to separate man from man, objectivity brings us back to the mass where we begin. I had suggested the word tincture, a common word in Boheme, and my instructors took the word antithetical from per amica silica luna. I had never read Hegel, but my mind had been full of Blake from boyhood up, and I saw the word as a conflict, specter and emanation, and could distinguish between a contrary and a negation. Contraries are positive, wrote Blake, and negation is not contrary. I mean, it goes on with all this complicated fucking language. When I first started reading this shit, I couldn't understand what the fuck this fucker is talking about. I had to sit there and just imagine and contemplate and write shit down on paper to figure out what the fuck is this fucker talking about. And the more I meditated on it and figured it out and figured shit out, I mean, it just started adding to, you know, figuring shit out. What the fuck is this existence, you know? And but anyway, that's more of fucking some of the complicated shit in this book called A Vision by W.B. Yeats. Whereas when I opened the book this morning and I started reading, just flipped to any page and started talking about love. And it started to be easy to understand and comprehend and have some sense. But for the most part, this is one fucking hell of a fucking complicated shit. You know, all this fucking metaphysics, hermetic principles, the Kabbalah, cartomancy, chakras, clairvoyance, Great White Brotherhood, secret society, spiritualism, symbolism, tarot, telepathy, transcendentalism, you know, all this shit. I mean, this is all high-level Freemasonry, Illuminati shit. You know, which is, you know, yeah. Yeah. Fuck. You know, it includes all subject matters, whether fuck mathematics, music, fucking engineering, electronics, becoming doctors, all this shit, all the knowledge, all lumped in together. You know, coming out of the Vatican, and these are overseen by the Jesuits. The Jesuits, the Vikings. These are the bankers, the thieves, the tricksters, the manipulators. You know, Israel. Everything's centered around Israel, that state called Israel, with the religion, the dominant religions, and all that shit. You know, and how America is a religious organization based on the Western interpretation to that old ancient book called the Bible. And it says straight up in the Bible, says if you don't support Israel, then God will disown you. So this is all used to brainwash all the people into supporting Israel, when it's really a whole fucking nation of fucking imposters, thieves, fucking murderers, people that know how to put on a good Hollywood act and fake the fuck out of everyone with fake media stories to justify wars and killing and telling everybody what to do, taxation and all that shit. You know, and there aren't very many people on the earth that know this information of what's really fucking going on around here. aren't very many, but there are enough that things are evidence is starting to come out more and more and more and more and more, and people are really starting to all of a sudden fucking wake up what the fuck going on around here. Especially when COVID hit, and then people started realizing, oh fuck, they ain't as free as they thought they were. And at any time, any doctor could come right in, strap anyone down, stick a needle in their ass, and you never know what the fuck's in that needle, and it'll all be considered legal, and everyone will support it. Yep, but we don't want to get sick. Strap the fucker down, pump them up with something. Okay, that's the spider's web. That's the Silk Road. This involves a lot of China shit, CCP, because China is the oldest fucking organization, civilized and recorded organization. China controls a lot of fucking shit. They're the string pullers behind a lot of, been the string pullers behind a whole lot of shit. And word on the street is that Biden is fucking highly puppet stringed on the dark side. And then Trump, he's considered the hero. He was the first American president that was allowed to go into the Chinese courtyards, ritualistic secret courtyards, with President Xi and all that. But he's just sucking the Chinese dick too. But he's on the good side, you see. He's the good boy in the Chinese family. It comes out of the Vatican. Chinese are in the Vatican too. And it ain't just the Chinese, It's the power that started with the original civilization. You see, that's the oldest culture. That's the old dragon culture. And in the universities it's taught that before civilization started over there in the Asian area, before civilization, the real cradle society was Africa. But there are no records because everyone lived on the land. They didn't write shit down and record all kinds of shit. No county recorders, no court proceedings recorded and all that shit. So it's just considered the cradle is that supposedly, men started populating from that area, and and as supposedly as the equators shift and the suns shift and all that shit, and they were burnt out, got too hot or where the fuck too cold, then the people moved and scattered throughout the earth to get away from the hot and the cold, and so now you got different cultures all over the fucking earth, but it started from Africa first, and then it moved over to Asia, the Chinese area, and that is where recorded civilization started. So the foothold of all this societal power was started and home-rooted, home-based and founded in Asia, most predominantly China. And India's included in there and all that shit, but for the most part, because this gets into all the dragon stories, and it gets into mythology with Zeus and Typhon the dragon and giants that used to walk the fucking earth, and Jupiter that gave birth to fucking Venus. And when Venus fucking popped out into space, it fucking blew by the earth and bounced off Mars, according to some of the old records. And people have written books on this shit, and they were shut down. In fact, in the 1950s, there's an author named Velikovsky, Immanuel Velikovsky, and it became he started popularizing all the myth stories because they were considered real, that this shit actually happened. What caused the real flood on the earth? And all the evidence on it, there's a YouTuber named fucking Mutt Fossil University. His name's Roger Spur. And he's showing all the fucking evidence of all the anatomy of the earth is nothing but dead carcasses. He's showing fucking, this is a tendon part, this is a heart part, this is a lung part, this is a foot, this is a hip. Everything is all nothing but fucking dead giant bodies all over all this fucking earth. The mountains, rocks, every fucking thing. Proving it without a shadow of a fucking doubt. Big giant penises, giant vaginas, tits, you name it. It's all here. And it ain't just this earth. The fucking body parts are floating all in outer space, all the asteroids, because there was war in the heavens. You know. The Titans and the Olympics, the Olympic gods, the battle of the gods, Father Sky, Mother Earth, all the other planets. So anyway, so China, the dragon stories, the dragon, the memory of the dragon shit, because there was a great dragon that arose from Mother Nature to fight off fucking Zeus, Father Sky, because he would fuck all the planets, the motherly energy. The planets are all considered the girl energy, the eggs. Father Sky, Zeus, father, he'd go around and he'd fuck all the girls, and he didn't like the children. If he didn't like any of the children, he'd kill them off. And the mothers would be like, what the fuck is this? And the mothers would retaliate. And they gave birth to giants and fucking monsters, dragons and shit. And there was this one dragon named fucking Typhon, the greatest dragon of them all. 1,100 fucking miles long. And his carcass is laying in the top part of fucking Africa. And he ain't the only dead dragon that's shown on the ground that died. It's very quite obvious. Unless someone's a good fucking manipulator with the fucking Google search and all that other shit. I mean, it looks like, it's just evidence to consider. So China, I say all this because China and the story of the dragons, they are big. The memory of the dragons. And the greatest dragon of them all was Typhon, which was a child, a creation that Mother Earth gave birth to go up against the gods to see if she could fucking subdue this fucking rapist, fucking child killing fucking father that kept fucking killing all her children off. He'd fuck her, get her pregnant with it, because it's energy stuff. And then if he didn't like any of the children, he'd kill them off. And Mother was like, what are you doing? And Zeus is like, do whatever the fuck I want. So Typhon, he wasn't the only dragon. Okay, this was a huge fucking dragon, 1,100 miles long. And there's a dead dragon. This whole west coast over here on the Google search is a dead dragon laying in the ground. The ground is the dead dragon. And the head of the dragon is California. The back of the head, where someone could get up on and ride the dragon, is Oregon. A dragon is also known as a big long snake. And snakes, could have like wings and feet and arms and legs and all kinds of shit, breathe fire and stuff like that. Serpents, dragons, combinations of different things. And there's one over in the fucking East Coast in the Florida area, huge, Kasakuawa it was called, the great dragon with feathers, and it looks just like all the ancient myth pictures. The dead carcass in the earth looks just like the old ancient myth pictures. So, all this evidence to be considered that most people don't know. But, China, getting back to China, the oldest recorded civilization. Right? They are very celebratory. They celebrate the dragon all the time. The dragon. Well, what's the power of the dragon? Well, that's the girl energy, the mother energy rising up. That's what the power of the dragon is. And I'm here to say that dragon was not a boy dragon. Typhon the dragon, the great dragon that Zeus slayed with his lightning bolt, that was a girl dragon. That was one of Mother's daughters. That was the girl energy rising up. You know, because there's the warrior side to the girl too. Instead of auditing everything with a nice peace warrant and a guarantee and all that shit, back then in history, the warrior energy, even in the women, was so strong that they become just as hostile as the men. Fuck you, I'm gonna kill your ass. This is the mentality, the main big universal, biggest problem in the universe at its simplest form. It always comes down to just the pure, simple relationships. What goes on in relationships. It's always a tit for a tat. I'm gonna get you, you get me, I'm gonna get you back. Anyway, this thing's low on battery, so I think I'll just bring the extension cord out here. So we'll end this one. All right, later.